Cam Newton's fucking toenail clippers cost more than my damn suits. All right, why the fuck are you fucking like, dude? If you don't fly your ass to you, or just get your ass out the U.S. and UK and Canada, and just go find you, just come to Europe and go find you a bitch like her for literally right now $60 in Show Park. She's in love with him, and she loves the fact that she loves that he don't love her.
My video yesterday responding to this man about male privilege had some of y'all fired up, and so many women commented so many better examples than the ones that I even used originally, so it's time for a part 2. Did you know that women are 47% more likely to be seriously injured in a car accident because the crash test dummies used in safety testing are male crash test dummies designed to be the average male proportions, and female crash test dummies weren't even utilized until 2015. They're not government mandated, so not every brand uses them, and when they do use them, they're mostly tested in the passenger seat because the misogyny continues. And did you know that women are 1.7 times more likely to suffer adverse side effects of medications because the clinical trials used to determine the proper dosage were male-dominated trials? Because let's completely ignore the fact that men and women process drugs differently and have different metabolisms. So yeah, super great. Have you ever heard of the pink tax? It's not actually a tax, but it's a statistically higher cost for female marketed products that are identical to male products.
Oh, that's
For
true.
example,
Yeah.
female clothes that are identical to male clothes on average are 10% more expensive, and little girls' toys compared to little boys' toys tend to be 5 to 13% more expensive.
Yeah.
And this inflation of cost, on average, is estimated to cost women $1,300 a year for identical products just because they're marketed to women. And now let's talk about how men are praised for doing the bare minimum, like babysitting their kids or helping with chores, as if they're not their kids and their chores that just need to be taken care of. And when men reach high-powered positions, are you ever accused of sleeping your way there because you couldn't have possibly gotten there on skill, merit, or qualifications?
Hey, I'll be real with you. She had me in the first, 2 to 3 parts. I can't argue that. She had me. And the pink tax, well, it's a tax because they know bitches are dumb enough to pay for it. Whereas, here's the thing. If they had to price the same products to men at that price, men would just stop buying them because men will grow to be independent. Whereas women literally grow for more dependency. You see what I'm saying? So, but again, she had me on the first 2 because I have minimal knowledge on it. So but at the end, will you be accused of sleeping your way to the top? Bitch, shut the fuck. No. Will you be accused of sleeping? Oh my God. I was accused of sleeping my way into this $300,000 a year job. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so ruined. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. The first 2, I can see it with the crash test dummies and the medication. Sure. I'll give her that just because I have minimal knowledge on it. I'm not saying it's right, but I'll give it to her because I have minimal knowledge on it. Never looked that deeply into it. Okay. But I know children, when it comes to children, they get tested. But as far as like grown women in the driver's seat, I have no statistics on that. So I'm not going to fight that. I'll give it to her. She had me with the first 2. But with this, again, if you just let women keep talking, it just gets worse. It never gets better. Okay. Dude. You will literally have a better chance of the Avengers beating Thanos than you would of letting a bitch keep talking and the shit's still adding up at the end. Right? You will have literally a better chance of the Avengers going out there and beating Thanos. And for those of y'all who don't know, okay, the movie showed us the one reality where they actually beat Thanos. The reality was the motherfuckers had about a 1 in 1 million chance of beating that motherfucker. We just got that one scene in the cinema because we need a happy ending. Them motherfuckers had a 1 in 1 million chance to beat that motherfucker. You will have you will have a better chance in the Avengers going out to beat Thanos than you would letting a woman keep talking and the shit'll add up. And the shit keep like I said in the beginning, I can't fight that because I don't know the court. I don't know the numbers. Now, what I will say is this: knowing women there's a good chance that if I were to go look up the numbers, there's going to be a lot hidden. There's going to be a lot misdirection. There's going to be, anything to fuel her point. I'm not going to be surprised at it. But again, I'll give her that win. But again, I won't be surprised if you actually were to look into it. If you really were to look into these stats, I'll say this, I'm not going to be surprised if they're severely cherry-picked, severely altered, severely with hidden, the demographics and reasonings for what they did and why they did it. Okay, out of all, like pickup trucks over the weight of like 2,000 pounds, or okay, is that just the section that she's asking? Because in this demographic, 95% of men, 95% of owners of pickup trucks over 2,800 pounds are going to be men. So why are they going to even test it for women? You see, the little parts like that is what I'm sure she didn't look into. Okay. I'll be sure. But again, I can't say that I know because I have no knowledge on it. So I'll give her that victory. I'll give her that. But the longer it goes on to what will you be accused of sleeping your way to bitch? Do you realize do you realize a woman can accuse a man of just making the woman feel awkward, and he'll lose that job that you had to sleep your way into, or you got accused of sleeping your way. That all a woman has to do is say, "Oh, he makes me uncomfortable," and get that social status rolling, and that man will lose his job for that. Lose it. To date, and I'm gonna take it here. I'm gonna take it this far because I gotta use the bathroom in a minute. To date, even with Harvey Weinstein now, and I'm going there. From all the evidence that I seen, and I'm not even being sarcastic, I ain't really seen nothing that was too wild. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure some wild shit probably happened because it's just that business and bitches will do anything for attention. So I'm sure a bitch deep throated his cock in the back of Arby's or some shit like that. But you know what I'm saying? But as far as all the evidence that's been proved, look, ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? See. But this is a perfect example of how women desperately thrive off of what other people think about them. You see, to her, it's damaging because the rumors got around that she fucked her way to that position, right? You see that? Now, from the male's perspective, me and you, we can lose our job, get reassigned, lose our job, get demoted, whatever the fuck, just because some woman expressed some lies that she's uncomfortable, and we don't even know this bitch. See, we ain't gonna talk about that. But again, I'll give her the whole car and the medication thing, because like I said, knowing women, she didn't really read anything other than the like how they say men have selective hearing, women have selective attention. Right? If it didn't promote her, then it didn't exist, right? So as far as the medication, she's probably looking at Viagra statistics or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be. I totally. Now I'm not saying she did, but knowing women, it's a good chance she probably looked at Viagra statistics and why. Well, how come women are testing for Viagra too? You know what I'm saying? Because I know bitches. And see, these topics like this, these are the topics that women hope you don't have the courage to bring up in conversation. What did you actually study? What did you actually read? Give me an experience. Give me a legitimate example. Dive into what she's actually saying. You see, this is where woman knows you are not going to have the courage to ask her that. We just going to let that go. Let's keep going.
Episode of Danny's Dating Stories. I have gone on so many bad dates, and Mama's Boy was just one of them. Now it is time to tell the story of a boy that we are going to codename Serial Dater. When I tell you that this man was so fine, he had the most perfect...
Okay, I can tell right now she's in love with him. Because if she wasn't, she would have never... She wouldn't talk about this motherfucker at all. You wouldn't even remember him. She's in love with. I could start up. Okay, if I had to guess some kind of way, I haven't watched this video, by the way. If I had to guess some kind of way, he left her first and she's mad about it, or she's in love with him for real. Because otherwise, she would never even remember that motherfucker at all. let alone enough to put a camera up and start talking about this motherfucker. She's in love with him. Let's keep this going.
Sun-kissed skin, the perfect hair. Him and I grew up in the same town, so that's how we became friends first. But when that day came that he asked me out to coffee, yeah, I honestly thought that was it for me. I had met my perfect person. If I could build a boy, he would look like him. I show up to coffee, and he pulls out my chair for me. Wow, so hot. We get our coffees, we're talking, and we're honestly just having such a good time. This is too good to be true. We're talking, we're laughing, and I'm thinking to myself, nothing could ruin this perfect date. Hang on, I'm getting there. Now we have come to the end of the date. We finished our coffee, I hugged him, and he was like, hey, I gotta run inside to grab a coffee. I'm thinking to myself, wow, this man is so sweet. He's getting a friend of his a coffee before he hits the road. I walk back to my car and think nothing of it. But then my female instinct hits me, where before I leave, I have to do one final glance. And want to know what I saw? I saw this man walk back inside, get in line, order a coffee, go to a different table where there was this really pretty blonde sitting there the whole time while him and I were on the date. They sit down and they start holding hands. He had another date lined up right after me at the same location. That's pretty bold. I'm just sitting in my car, watching this happen through the glass, while coincidentally listening to Louis Capaldi on the radio. Did not know what to do with myself. Danny, it's just one date. You just went on one date with this guy. He's allowed to date other people, but like, I was stunned. So I started my car, drove away, and that was the last time I ever saw a serial dater in person.
And her heart is so broke that she set up in her room and took time out to turn the phone on, switch it to the camera, switched the camera back on her, and had all this in her head. And on top of that, she went through multiple takes of it to get it all out. That woman is... Let me tell you something. See, this is what I said in my last video on BitChute. See, when women are in love with men, it's not what the movies try to show you. See, when women are in love with men, it's not this happy-go-lucky fucking tulips in the fucking garden, light music playing out. When women are in love with men, she's mad at the man. She's mad and she's wondering why he did this, why he did that, why he did this, why. That's when you know she's in love with him, especially when he ain't in the room. And it's just her out with her friends or you two or, you know, anything. Well, as long as he's not there, she's mad. That's how you know she's in love with him.
Painted as such a villain and I leaned into that role. There are a lot of men that fear me. Like, I'll see them in my story views.
No, they don't fear you. They acknowledge the reality that you're not admirable. But see, you love how women like to play with words. There's no fear. Well, there's nothing to be afraid. Bitch, I can buy you for $70 down the street right now to fucking brothel. All right? There's nothing to fear about anything about you. There is nothing to fear about Brittany Jenner. All right? At all. There is nothing to fear. Nothing. I can buy you for the price of a PlayStation 5 video game. So what does that say about you? There is nothing to fear. The only thing that you will be... Okay, because the only thing you will be desired for is for fucking. Right? Or to walk around. Okay, even just to walk around. I can pay a bitch the price of a fucking PlayStation game and a fucking donut to walk around with me. All right? And it's under... Hey, here's a secret. It's under $100. All right? You not worth that much. You just found some fool who put up with you. All right? It still baffles me why men deal with women like this, especially with the men who she's going after. I'm still baffled by that. I'm baffled. Like, why are these sports? Why are they even talking to her? It baffles me why men even deal with American women who are just physically healthy with their mentality just being the way it is. If you got all this money, Cam Newton, that motherfucker got a fucking Cam Newton's fucking toenail clippers cost more than my damn suits. All right, why the fuck are you fucking like, dude? If you don't fly your ass to you, or just get your ass out the U.S. and U.K. and Canada, and just go find you, just come to Europe and go find you a bitch like her for literally right now $60 in Show Park. All right, and she's gonna be in a much better mood and all that shit. It still baffles me why guys put up with her. The guys who she's going after, why they even still entertaining her. I don't even know why they doing it. To be 1,000% honest, that's a fucking like I said, was it last week? Let me see. Am I still on? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So last week, what I said, what's that motherfucker's name? Future. I will guarantee you, and if me and Future if he ever sees this, I am willing to bet that and I will publicly put my bank account on the internet for everybody to see it, because we already know this motherfucker got millions. So we gonna do a thorough comparison, right? And I will bet Future all my bank account to one beer. That with one stop, I bet you I have better looking bitches that he's spending money on out there in the US. I will guarantee it. I will guarantee it. I bet all my money to a fucking donut. All right? And I bet you I win. All right? So I wouldn't even come up with the bet unless I was certain. It baffles me why it really, again, it baffles me why men even put up with this shit. Why? If you got all this money, why the fuck are you?
Do you know what I mean? But it's like nobody's really going out of their way to pursue me. I think it's really different being a woman in that situation versus like my baby daddy. You know, women will flock to him and not think twice of it. But to me, because I use my mouth, because I am on platforms, because I tell the truth, a lot of men want to steer clear of that. So
that's because you're genuinely not desirable as a human. That's why. There's nothing about you that is genuinely desirable as an actual human. So the more you keep talking, coincidentally, with all these Instagram tramps, OnlyFans sluts, these, TikToks, the more they have to keep talking without a man handling them, the more it becomes clear that there's absolutely nothing desirable from an actual human standpoint, other than just breeding with her physically. That's it. That is the correlation. There is no why should anybody love you? Why should anybody love Brittany Jenner, whatever the fuck her name? Why should anybody even love her? For what reason? And this is what I always try to stress to men of all ages. Why should you love her? Well, you see her ass in them pants? Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah. That's hooker shit. Okay, why should you love this human though? Well, she brought me a cup of water one time, and for real. Okay, but why should you love her? Why? What has this woman done to fucking deserve love from a man? Other than put on 15 pounds of makeup, not get fat, and take a bath. What did she do that validates your love? What? What? Fucking what? What? Ask yourself those questions, man. When you dealing with bitches, why? Ask yourself. Because you're excited because it's a woman and you getting woman validation. That's where a lot of guys going to end. It is where it's going to end off at. There is nothing about her to love. She's sitting here telling you right here to your fucking face. There's nothing about her to fucking love. In every scenario, once she had to actually keep talking, every man fucking hit the road runner on her. Y'all been a road runner from the old Looney Tunes? As soon as she started talking, literally, as soon as she opened her mouth to not put a dick in it, every man ran the fuck away from her. You want to think why? Why? Because she's so fucking desirable? No, because she's fucking terrible. That's why. It's even so bad the bitch wrote a fucking book and motherfuckers don't even know her. They just ran away from the bitch. They bounced on her. Thanks, Leslie. What's up, Leslie Porter? What's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. Hey, thanks to everybody tuning in. But yeah, what's up, Leslie, man? Appreciate the comment, man. But for real, this is why I got to tell. Like, she's telling you to her. She's literally sitting here and telling you to your face. She is fucking awful to be around. Any man who's come within a fucking mile of her or came on her face ran the fuck away from her after her prostitution duties were over. It's enough to make it go crazy. As Richard Pryor said. I can't remember what stand-up it was. Richard Pryor said that in the stand-up. It's enough to make it go crazy.
Dating and like where it is now, there's not a lot of people that are like, hey, I'm interested by the way.